The policymaking process can vary depending on the country and policy area. But in general, the process can be viewed as cyclical rather than linear. It starts with defining the problem. Having a clearly defined problem is required to get a topic onto the policy agenda. Sometimes a problem is identified through an event, such as an epidemic or disaster, which reveals gaps in the system requiring intervention. Or perhaps a senior policymaker has a personal interest in a health issue. That can also put an issue on the agenda. Other times, a topic makes it onto the agenda as a result of international commitments or recommendations. The next step is to construct policy options. This step requires reviewing evidence to identify potential solutions, as well as assessing the health, feasibility, equity, and economic impact of each option. You'll also need to clarify operational issues and engage stakeholders to get their opinions, as these will also influence the formation of your policy options. Based on these analyses and discussions, you'll be recommending a specific policy option, and after that, designing the policy, including how it will be implemented. This will typically involve discussions with the implementing institution and the policy-making body. The next step is to implement the policy, and finally, we evaluate and review the policy. The implementation of policy should always be accompanied with a plan for monitoring and evaluating the outcome. Based on the outcome, the policy may need to be refined or modified. As we think about this process, it is critical to keep in mind that policy is created and sustained through the involvement of stakeholders. These are the people who have a particular position or a special interest in the policy. The chances of policy success are increased when you keep stakeholders and people affected by the policy involved and informed throughout the process. Policies can be made by organizations beyond the government, and they can also be implemented at different levels. Policies implemented by the national government might include a policy against smoking in restaurants or public spaces, while a policy implemented at the community level might direct resources toward building pedestrian paths along key routes to encourage physical activity. A school might implement a policy to include educational sessions in its curriculum on malaria prevention, while a city might institute a policy against talking on a cell phone while driving.